Yet. I apologize. This video started without my knowing. Give me 1 second. Salam, shalom. Give me 1 second. The video started without my knowing. Now let's try this again. Am I clear? Let me stop laughing for y'all think I'm playing. Like I said, am I clear? In the meanwhile, I want to say this one thing. Wisdom is a practice. Peace and wisdom, Shadow. I meant to do this. Well, I didn't mean to do it. I was trying to make it for channel members only. But while I'm here, I want to say this. Wisdom is a practice, meaning all you learn. So those jewels of that wisdom is applied to self. And over the course of time, I suppose the self be perfected if you apply everything to self and, practice and grow. And so it's the same for me, meaning I give y'all wisdom, but I still have the same wisdom and, I apply it to myself and you get my point. Over time, it makes for perfection. And y'all be coming in here getting on my damn nerves, acting like y'all slow. It interferes with my growth as well. Well, not my growth as well. Y'all growth is y'all own, y'all own business, but it can become an interference. My point, come in here, get wisdom, keep everything, like it need to be. Like I said before, if you got, ill intent or, a dislike towards me, I don't know why I would need to tell you that. But kind of go on your way. Salam, shalom. You don't have to feel blown off. Like, oh, he trying to blow me off. I don't have anything to do with you. And if I have to tell someone, don't come around me if you got a problem with me. You get my point? I don't see why I would have to. I think that warrants a good curse out. And that's what make a person a snake, you know? Meaning y'all can apply this in y'all own lives. If there's somebody that you have as a friend or a family member, and you see like there's a problem here, you get it? There's an underlying problem or something here, but they're not saying it. It may be something petty. They may be just envious. It could be anything. But if you seeing like there's a friction, but they're not really saying what their problem is, that's your snake. Some of y'all may be that person where you have a problem. Let's say you got a problem with your mama, but you still converse and talk to your mother like there's no problem, even though ever so often maybe you show you do got one. Maybe you got a friend. You're secretly envious of that person, or you feel some kind of way about something that may have happened. And you get my point? You're not over your problem, but you still kind of fellowship and act like everything's on the up and up. That's what make you a snake. That's what a snake does. Lies around and wait for a reason to bite. If you already have one, do you get my point? And so life is communication and the clarity of that communication. And so a lot of y'all need to get y'all emotional state and mind together. You make repeated problems because you don't ever get your emotional state together, and that you be entangled with people. And you get my point? You're making all the roads for you to get a fat forehead, punching your forehead. And so I'll say it again. If you have a problem with me, you don't have to waste your time telling me your problem, because I wouldn't care. Just go on your way. Wisdom ain't for you. I'm not sure how many of you guys are readers, but in the book of Thomas, this is like the sacred text, the text that wasn't included into the Bible. Yeshua says to the disciples, because they keep questioning him, he says, don't be like the Judeans. The Judeans is basically Judas. I'm not saying the Judeans is named after Judas. The Judeans is named after Judah. But Judah's name in Greek is Judas. And Judas, this is the one that supposedly, betrayed Jesus in that whole story. He would be a Judean. So you get my point? In the book of Thomas, when Jesus or Yeshua is saying, don't be like the Judeans. And what he said is this. He said, don't be like the Judeans and like the tree, but despise the fruit. Or love the fruit, but despise the tree. And if you pay attention to people in the daytimes, y'all are like that. Like the Judeans. He's basically explaining to the disciples, don't be a snake. You follow? You got a problem with the son, but you love the father. You got a problem with the daughter, but you love the mother. Or you love the daughter, but you got a problem with the mother. And y'all moving this way in y'all life. How many of y'all are in relationships with the daughter, but you got a problem with her mama? Do you get it? That don't make sense. And so apply these Jews to yourselves. It's important in regards to, your life being on a path that makes sense. Your actions have to make sense for your life to make sense. And so you don't want to be that way where your own actions and your own mind is contradicting. And so you come here and you get wisdom, make sure you're applying it to yourself so you grow emotionally and mentally. Therefore, I can tolerate you. Otherwise, y'all gonna view it like he got a bad attitude or he got ego, And it's really just I don't like you. You get on my nerves. You get it? That's just the truth of the matter. Y'all are sloppy. You're too old to not have bare minimum manners. Y'all act like y'all dead in this life. You got all the pettiest problems in the world and all the energy for it. But when it comes to something of meaning, then y'all dead. And so you get my point. A person with my caliber of wisdom, y'all annoy me. It don't make no sense. No rational sense. And this is how people move that move on emotion. And it don't make no rational sense. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all will come together to tear down, but y'all won't come together to build anything. That part. Y'all will come together to cancel, but y'all won't come together to make right of things. And so, get it all together. I'm not sure why y'all be laughing so much. This is not laughing matters. You want to give y'all deep knowledge, but it's like I said, why y'all laughing? I don't want to say it again. I don't really like y'all too much. And nobody have to take offense to that because I don't, you feel me? Y'all don't have good manners. Y'all don't have good etiquette. I come from old school times. You the bottom of the barrel shit on the toilet when you can't even remember simple manners. Like, you get so emotional you can't stay on track of the overall point of things. You get my point? It become a disgust. More than that, the wiser you become as you grow in mind. Your preference take your preference change or your taste. And we ain't even speaking, tasting. I don't want you to limit it to any one kind of taste. Like, you may have a certain taste in things you like to do. You may have a certain taste or preference in people. You may have a certain taste in food. All of that change as you evolve mentally. Your taste buds change, your perspective, and your overall viewpoint on things. And that, you get it? You have to move forward. It's like school. You can't stay in the third grade if it's time to go to the fourth grade. All your friends got left back there in the third grade, so it's easier for you to want to stay there, but you get it? Relationships have to do with the mind, meaning y'all bound to whoever y'all bound to because of y'all mind, meaning y'all on the same mental frequency, the same emotional frequency of some sort. And that's what keep y'all bound together. If one of y'all change, or if one of y'all grow, intellectually, or let's say, I don't want to say decline. Nobody declines in their understanding, but you can stop, until you make whatever adjustments you need to make so you can continue on. But if you grow mentally and let's say those around you don't, you get my point? There's going to be friction. Your perspective going to change. Your taste going to change. There's going to be what it was. And you get my point? You use them as a reflection of where you were. But still, you get it? Everything have to evolve or mature or grow together. They say a family that eats together stays together, or whatever they say. You have to grow mentally together and be on the same accord mentally. You ain't got to be as wise as the next person, but just on the same accord. And so most people fall short, especially in the daytimes. Make sure y'all teach y'all children manners from young. A lot of y'all are young. Y'all have children young. Teach them from young manners. And if you know you lack on that, maybe you bring them to your mama house. That's their grandmother. And if she lack on that too, you get my point? Because y'all getting tacky in y'all ways. When I say y'all ways, I'm speaking of the morals. Y'all lacking in morals beyond what is even fathomable. And so, come here in better energy. I don't want to get annoyed. with the miserable, you know. Now, what am I explaining today? Oh, death. Thank God. Thank God for death because I can't wait till y'all can't wait till y'all can get on my last nerves. I will be showing up to some of y'all funerals just to make sure the good news is. Let me stop. You dead for real? You sure? You pull up and make sure. Put my face all in your casket. Slap your face a few times. Make sure you don't move, yeah? Yeah, he dead. Celebration. Celebration at my house tonight. Yes. Nah, I'm just playing. Golden said, that's a dark entity. Salam, shalom, Golden. I don't know what that means, but explain, please. And please don't run from explaining. I'm going to get annoyed. Meaning when y'all say things, y'all have to know why y'all say things and the point of what y'all saying. Peace and wisdom, Shadow. Said you hell. I'm not. Y'all are hell and y'all got a problem with hearing the truth. Outside of that, jokes is jokes and the serious parts is the serious parts. You're a clown, you gonna hold on to the jokes. But you get it? You said, I just felt the dark energy. Salam, shalom, love. Why would you think I know what you talking about? Or why would you think anyone knows what you're talking about? You sound like an astrological space junkie. And so please, one more time, what are you talking about me? What are you talking about when you say, I just felt the dark energy? A lot of y'all don't realize, y'all feel y'all own self. But who are you talking about? Me? Somebody else in the chat? What exactly are you talking about? And why is conversation with y'all like conversation with somebody in special ed, where you can't explain yourself? Salam, love, don't disrespect me. You see how you said you felt dark energy? Now you being disrespectful, but you wasn't disrespected. And so I'll rewind back. A lot of y'all feel your own bummy energy and then you push it off onto others. Now, I'm not sure if you mature enough to be here, but you get my point. And I don't know what problems you have in your life where you think, that kind of behavior is cool. It's not. I'm grown. It's not going to do nothing to me but make me look at you like you one of these little dirty people I be talking about that don't have no parents. Salam, shalom. You don't have to keep repeating dumb stuff. Listen now. You are a reflection of what you came from. That part. You are a reflection of your mother, your father. You probably was raised by your grandparents because your parents probably ain't take out the time. And you conduct yourself in that manner. And you only do that because YouTube is however it is. So you probably think like, oh, I'm looking cool in this moment. You don't. You look broken and simple-minded. This is a place for wisdom. Come for wisdom. We not having a conversation. Once you insult me, you're done. I'm just giving you the extras and it's probably burning you up, but that ain't my problem. And so I'll say it again. You were a reflection of whatever filth you came from. You probably think you look cute, but you look like a Project Dusty and you don't belong here. This is not the place where you bring your emotional filth and dirt and drop it on the floor like dirty socks looking for somebody to clean it for you. And I know you're kind. You like to start problems because you want somebody to curse you out, belittle you. You know the things you used to. It's like a woman that been hurt. You give her a compliment, she don't believe it. You say, he don't mean I'm pretty. She thinks she ugly. Everything's reverse. She prefer the insult because she more familiar with that. When she say, I don't believe he think I'm pretty, it's like to say she rather have the insult or what she used to hearing, which is I'm ugly or this or that. You get it? And so you like that. You're looking to get abused. It probably make you feel alive. Daddy probably beat on you or something. And so just not the place for that. Peace and wisdom. She said, I'll come to the Most High and the angels for wisdom. Little girl, move along. You talking about fairy tales. Peace and wisdom, tree 13. And so those of y'all that come in negative spirits or whatever you do in your life in negative spirits, it's just a reflection of your insides, you know? You burnt up and fried inside. You're looking for somebody to be miserable with you. And so when you're dealing with the wise, conduct yourself the right way. Conduct yourself the wrong way. You reveal, you know, what lies inside. And so the dark energy you were speaking of is your own self. If you can clearly see that part. You dark inside. I'll be sleeping in the damn box. Yeah. Salam, shalom. Golden is not nothing. She just on here dumb talking. But let's get to the real wisdom. Life is too short for losers. Now get your dark energy together and your bum energies and all of that. Now I want to touch on something she said. Not that anything she said is important, but I just want to help some of y'all in y'all growth. She said she learned from the Most High and the angels. That come from a book. A book most of y'all haven't read before. You get my point? When God here say wisdom, this is when you listen to people tell you their opinions. Meaning there's levels of knowledge. There's listening to people tell you their opinions. There's the knowledge that's in books. And then there's the knowledge that comes directly from self. Most of y'all are lost on the first one. A small few of y'all are lost on the second. And, you know, maybe a palm full of y'all get my point and you get to the knowledge that has to do with the self, coming from the self. Now, to give y'all an example, religion, you have God, which is the light. And you have Satan, which is the darkness. And this is how they're explained, meaning God is the light, the devil is the darkness. And that's how the book explains whatever it's explaining. And if you ask most people in real life, well, what are they talking about? Who's God, this light, and who is the devil, this darkness? Do you get it? Most people got book knowledge, and it's stopped in the book. In regards to reality, they have no understanding. And so the knowledge that have to do with self or comes from self, this is the true knowledge. And everything else is just a direction to that. Meaning the book is just a pointing you to that. And the hearsay is just a hearsay. They don't have anything to do with anything, but you get my point. Now, when you're dealing with knowledge of self, or self-knowledge, the light is consciousness and the darkness is unconsciousness. And this is your God and Satan, so to say. The light and the darkness. And those are two entities. Or you can say two places. Place and body, one and the same. So you get it? A place and person, same thing. You a person and a place. If you say, how am I a place? You got a bunch of micro life that lives within you. So you a person and you a place. You're like a solar system. And you're a person. Just like the solar system we live in is a person. On its scale of existence. Just like the cells within you, they're on a smaller scale of existence. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so you get my point? You can learn God and devil, never knowing what's being spoken of. Or you can learn what has to do with self. Now, if you lost, y'all don't control the consciousness or the unconsciousness. Y'all are just thrown into either. Y'all don't have no control over y'all life or existence. Y'all just have big ego. Big ego meaning no awareness of real reality. In that, most of y'all say, man, I control my life. Or I could learn how to. Learn how to control unconsciousness. Show me you do that. That part. Y'all can't stop yourselves from falling into the darkness. And when y'all in the darkness, y'all can't control if y'all come back into the light. That's awake. In that, you have no real control over if you are alive or dead. And these is the things that man never become aware of. He live in his ego in his own bubble. When y'all wake up in the morning, you get my point? Y'all off to work or off to wherever y'all off to. There's no moment of awareness that I can just be pulled into unconsciousness right now. It has nothing to do with me sleeping and going. It has nothing to do with me falling into sleep and waking up. It's just a force that I don't have no control over. And it kind of decide when I fall into sleep and when I wake up. And that, do you get my point? That's real God and devil wisdom, or knowledge pertaining to yourself. And y'all can't avoid that. You follow? In that, everything you read in these religious books, it's explaining that. Or it's speaking on that darkness within you and that light are unconsciousness and awake. And you basically the thing in between, getting thrown into each. Never fully becoming aware of that. Everything has to do with awareness. In regards to yourself, y'all aware of everything else that have nothing to do with the self. But in regards to the self, do you get my point? There's no awareness or you looking at yourself in, real time, real eyes. Most people look at themselves as however they want to see themselves, not as how they truly are. And so you get my point? Real wisdom has to do with things like that. Becoming aware, understanding all things in regards to the self. It's good to learn the book, God and Devil, and this and that. But all of that still have to play back to the self and reality. Otherwise, what are you talking about? Something you heard? Because reading the book is still hearsay. And reading the book and you don't know who the author is, that's even more strange hearsay. And so men have to become aware of these things. And this is the way to wisdom. Now, death is the unconsciousness. It's when y'all forget y'all even exist. And of course, life is awake. Don't view yourself as either or. Y'all come into them both. Whether you talking in the physical out of it, meaning when you sleep and in unconsciousness and your body is no longer being used, it's laying in the bed wherever it is, you still can become awake in unconsciousness. This is what y'all call dreaming. And when you become awake, so you find yourself in place. And you find yourself living or doing whatever you do in that dream. And so I'm trying to make it clear to you guys. The same way you go to sleep and wake up in the wake, the same thing happened on the other side. Y'all just call the awake dream. And so do you get my point? You got two sides, the unconscious side and the awake side, both being a reflection of the other. One being the before and the other being the after. And what was before becomes the after on the other way back, you know? Sunrise is before sunset. One way around. But you get it? Before sunset, or before sunrise is sunset. And before sunset is sunrise. And you get it? That little cycle always is. And so life and death is like that. The coming and the going. But it's the same on both sides. Like I said, y'all wake up in the physical life and there's places and things to do. And so it's the same in the unconscious. Y'all go there, sometimes y'all wake up and there's places and things to do. Y'all see how the bummy little girl Golden ain't respond no more? That's how you put somebody in their place. You don't gotta argue back with them. You tell them they dusty reality and let them deal with that. J Note said, I just lost my father. This is giving me a degree of closure. You can't lose your father because you don't own your father. You can't lose what's not yours. We all belong to the life. You're given the time with whatever you're given the time with, and you make the best of that time. And make for good memories of that time. Man get too attached, he think he own things. And that is going to be hard for you as long as you feel like you lost your father. You could view it like he preparing the way for where you going. Because we all going into that darkness. You get my point? You can view it many different ways. But when you view it as a loss, so you get it? You lost. There's nothing you can lose except yourself. Most people already lost themselves. That's why they hold on to other things. They think they own other things. The only thing you own is yourself. Partially. Life is pushing us through whatever courses it is. We fight courses and, it makes for the hardship. Meaning life bringing y'all through. Everybody going through the same life in the same things, different times. All kind of resistant. You get my point? Wherever y'all at, you become the resistance. I did a video explaining that, but don't view it as a loss. Just view it as, you get my point? And view it as like You lived in your own house and your dad lived in his own house probably and you ain't see him every day. And so it ain't really no different. More than that, our loved ones is with us. We all come from the same spirit, if that makes sense. You follow? You came from your father when he ejaculated you out, and all your siblings as well. And he came from his father, and you get it? All is one yoke. Now, I want to say this before I continue. You know how you see a lot of near-death experience stories and, people explaining death? All of y'all that do that, lie like you had a near-death experience, because they're lying. I don't want to hold all of y'all. It's content. And just say the same thing they heard somebody else say, and that's why y'all have a bunch of NDE stories that's pretty much the same. Just the people change. It's just a content thing. They're lying. But you have to live out your words. You get it? Meaning a lot of people lying about the near-death experience for content purpose, but they don't understand the power of the word. They don't understand that their words is their soul. Your words come from your mind, or that thing that's not seen, your soul. You speak these words, the words you speak, they come from their vibration. All sound comes from its source vibration. Your words come from your mind, which is the source vibration of the projected sound. The point I'm making is y'all words is y'all soul. If those words not be true, so the soul ain't true. Because the words is coming from the soul or the mind, which is the same thing. In that, y'all have to be careful of what y'all speak. Make sure everything you always speak is the truth, because what you speak is a reflection of what the soul is or the mind. And that have to live out its truth or its lie, if that makes sense. We're not speaking in the physical, but we are. But we speaking on, you get it? The after, so to say. And so, speak truth. That's all I can say. A lot of y'all be lying for attention's sake. You get my point? And this is not good. Salam, shalom. My channel is not for foolish talk. A lot of y'all need to find something to do with your time. My channel is for intellectuals, not broken, bitter fools that don't have anything in their brain but insult and things that lead to argument. And shit is beneath me. You beneath yourself. A lot of y'all be coming here low. You think that do something to me. That don't do nothing to me. I'm just going to step on you like a mat. And get your dirty ass up off the floor. That part. Y'all entertain yourselves with tacky so much y'all start to think it's cool. But it's only cool and tacky. That part. Now he like golden. Stuck on stupid and quiet. That part. Or like frying a soul up for no good reason. It's a deep thing. Peace and wisdom, Alwi. And all of y'all that come in good spirits, Tom, or whatever your name is, get your bummy attitude together. This ain't the place for you. Maybe you come back when you a little more clean and you're not trying to impress people with your filth in your dirt. Anybody could be a lowlife and talk low-life stupidities. I don't know why you thought that was so complex or splendorous. You just a bum. In regards to physical, I wouldn't know what you is in the physical, but emotionally and mentally, you a bum. A bum, somebody looking to lean on somebody else. You doesn't change on an emotional level like that. You looking to bring somebody down to your bum so you have company. And so, those of y'all that's watching, you avoid bums like that. Meaning you're going to have a lot of those energies in today's time. People trying to nitpick to bring you into, their misery. If you're not a teacher of no sort, blow them off. You get my point? You don't have to deal with them. If you teach, well, I suppose you know how to handle that. Now, those that get lost in the NDEs, like I said, be mindful of the things y'all say. Y'all have to live them out. If the lies concerning death, well, you get my point. They will have put themselves on a path for nothing. Y'all forget y'all have to live out y'all mind. In the physical life, y'all live out y'all mind or y'all perspective. When you fall into unconsciousness and go to sleep and then you dream, you're living out your perspective or your thoughts. And they become place. They become real, just like in the physical. Some of us view life as beautiful, and some of y'all running around talking about life is hard, and the white man foot on your neck and this person foot on your neck, and you get it? And you got the same life I got. Meaning ain't nothing happening besides you saying dumb shit. But ain't nobody foot on your neck or nothing. Your own foot on your own neck because you think everybody else is your problem. You follow? It's all perspective, and you gonna live out that perspective. So you got a whole generation of y'all running around here all bitter and angry because you learn that bitter and angriness. You follow? A lot of black people like this, a lot of the elders, and hopefully y'all don't take offense. A lot of elders feel like, man, the youngs got to learn their history, and we got to teach them their history. But y'all teaching them bum shit. They was slaves and all of this dumb shit that don't really matter. It's good that we teach our young their history, what matter. Teaching somebody a whole bunch of negative things from their past don't do anything. And that's what black history become. A negative party of this is what they did to us, and that's what they did to us in the opposite extreme. We did everything and everybody stole everything, and it become a whole retard party where y'all running around bitter for no goddamn reason. The only problem in the daytime is, you get my point? Yo, ignorant own. I come from a time where you keep things from the babies. They don't need to know the negativities. You get it? We'll handle that so they don't even have to know about it. Some of y'all my age. Mama was behind on bills, but she ain't tell you that. She went on ahead and handled that however she had to, and you would have not known about it unless you had to. And that go with anything negative. Your parents could be fighting, they'll stop if you come into the presence, and you get it, keep you from the negativity. In the daytime, y'all pass y'all negativity on to the young. Then when they crash out, y'all be all confused talking about, I don't understand the young. I don't know why y'all fill them up with y'all negativity. However it project out of them is how it project out of them, but you get my point? If you fueling the car with negativity, it's going to drive on that negativity. Which way it go, who cares? It's going the wrong way, and so kind of grasp. Even if you young. And you start hearing negative talk, excuse yourself. One of your elders come trying to tell you about black history, and they trying to tell you all the slave stuff. Just excuse yourself. So if you pass them times, I don't see the point of what's that going to do for me in my life. But make me start looking at certain people a certain way. Once you start doing that, you start limiting your life, and you start limiting yourself. You fall into judgment, or you fall into stereotypes. Everybody's problems is their own. If a black person had a problem with a white person, it's supposed to stop at those two people. And white people and black people are supposed to try to get that out of there. Y'all add on to it like children. And so everybody need to grow up. It's not about puddles and pals beefing with each other. It's about everybody eventually coming together. All the pals come together. All the pals doing the same thing. You get it? Y'all got goals to do good, but don't never get to it because y'all get distracted on y'all arguing and competing with each other. And the kids fall into that dumbness. Then they don't work together. Then y'all be confused talking about, I don't get why the babies is killing each other. And they watch y'all argue with each other and can't get along on nothing. So why should they? Again, they see blacks arguing all day over the dumbest things. Y'all just like the young. Y'all just don't got the heart to kill each other. Meaning black people will complain about the young kids killing each other and the old people are arguing and bickering and blackballing and doing all the negative things they can to one another except killing each other. And that's only because they ain't got the heart no more. They old. They old and finished now. But if they was young, you get my point? And so our problems go deeper than young people. Our problems don't start with the young. It start with the old. Start with whoever was here first. And so you get my point? Everybody got to kind of like get their own shit together, their perspective. Especially if you older. Like I said, our young is depressed and y'all sitting around dumb talking all goddamn day. Overlooking that. If they killing each other and doing all this dumb shit, it's because they depressed. What are y'all doing for that? Nothing. Telling them dumb shit. It's the white man your problem. Ain't nobody your problem but negativity. You follow? You get that negativity away from you, you move forward. It's all simple. There you go, a shadow. Self-accountability. And that ain't for nobody else but you. Meaning you got to get to a point where you come to realize nobody owes me anything, and anything I want to be how I want it to be, I have to make it that way. It's not about nobody coming along and doing my work for me or me getting mad because this ain't like that. You have to just make the adjustments. You get my point? Until you find the right adjustment and fit. But it's not about putting your problems off on others and putting your negative perspective off on others. And that a lot of y'all be looking for me to talk down on white people. I ain't with all of that. I ain't with talking down on nobody. But if I'm going to talk down on somebody, it's going to be myself and my own. Because that's going to serve us. You follow? If I got a flaw, you got a flaw, I'm going to speak on that because we got to better ourselves. I ain't concerned with nobody else's flaws because it ain't got nothing to do with me. Until we not in a competitive world where this race is battling this race, well, my only concern is my own, but whoever else hear it, hear it. I ain't here to fix nobody else's flaws because it ain't my job to make no other family better. They family for that. And so you get my point? When I go hard on blacks, it's for that reason only. Y'all gotta get better. Y'all playing kid games where you start lying to yourself like you a god and a king and your ass got mad bosses and shit over you. When you get to the point where you start just telling yourself anything so you feel better, that means you gave up. When you get to the point where you talking about we gods and we kings, and in reality, y'all are servants and workers, that means y'all gave up on being gods and kings and just cool with the talk. When you see talk only, motherfucker gave up. And don't never lose sight of that. And so you pay attention to how much black people are talking because it's a reflection of how much we've given up in regards to action. Talk and action go hand in hand. And so try to grasp. J Note said, so true. I've always thought, why don't we identify with our positive history? Because it's money and negativity. Meaning when you're dealing with negativity, think like illness. Ain't no money in health. The money is in illness. Person gets sick, then you can cure them. Person healthy, nothing for you to do. You get it? Now live in a world where they gonna bring y'all down so they could tell y'all they got the fix for y'all. They gonna tell you lost and don't know your history so they could give you history. Mind you, your history your own. Your history is you and your mama and your grandmama. And then anything before that, you get my point? Your grandmama can handle anything beyond her. Our histories don't go all the way back to the beginning of damn earth. Your history go, with your immediates and direct. And you get my point? Life ain't a history story. Life is a living thing. History only good to guide you in the present. Meaning the past only good so you can have direction in the present. You're using the past for anything more than that, you might as well go live in the past. And that's where we kind of at. Still in the past, fighting problems of the past. You say them problems still exist now. Yeah, because y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all lost in the past, so of course they still gonna be in the present. If you lost in the past gonna be your present. And so you get my point? We gotta stop sacrificing our own out. All we need to tell our own, all we need to do is make sure our own is happy. That's all the older people in life job is to make sure they keep their negativity away from the young and make sure they happy. Whatever little bit you can contribute to the young being happy and feeling like they can succeed at anything they want to do, as long as they work together. It ain't nothing that you need to be doing as an adult but that. Instilling in them, man, y'all gotta work together. Y'all can conquer nations and worlds like that. And if you ain't got that, you get it? Work on whatever you want to be and keep your focus together. And watch your habits and addictions and all those things. And you get it. I be getting lost in foolish stuff. Griff Maddox said the kid stole my car. Small L. Oh, the kids stole your car. Small L. I'll get another one. Got on the bus. The children looked so sad. Still spoke words of encouragement to them. Salam, shalom. Maybe that's the life telling you don't need a car and you can do something else with that money. And maybe you needed to be on that bus so you could talk to whatever kids you did. You never know. That's what I said. Life just bring y'all through. Then y'all resist. And maybe life's setting everything for you to have a whole new life. And say, let me take this car away from him because it's a certain kind of habit and path it put him on. Take the car from him, it's going to send him on another path. In that path, he meet new people. They bring him into new things. Do you get it? You got to start paying attention to life. Stop trying to correct everything that go wrong. A lot of the things that go wrong for us, it be right. It's your start to your new path, but our pride interfere. Say, nah, I got to get a new car. They stole my car. You don't have to do nothing. If the car caused you a problem like robbery, you get it? Meaning if they stole it from you, it could have happened while you was in it. And there's a lot of people dead right now because, you get it? Their car was stolen while they was in it. And so, I'm not telling you what you should do. If it's in you to get another car, whatever. But don't overlook the now. You get it? Don't get so lost and focused on, I got to get another car, that you're not paying attention to your moments on the bus and however it's working for you. Don't overlook all that. You get my point? There's life there, there's life everywhere. And you never know where that's going to bring you. Most people get brought into their highs from their lows. And so you get my point. Never shy away from hardship. Never have too much pride where, you get it? You start shying away from hardship. And that you be shying away from things that don't even have nothing to do with hardship. Your having a car is just a comfort thing. You're comfortable. You're used to it. You get it? It's not necessarily a hardship thing. In that, you get my point? Take your time. See what, see how things work out for you. You get my point? And you'll know what to do. The mind said, the wise men tell no lies. Salam, shalom. Make sure y'all apply these things. Society gonna make you feel like you gotta have this and that. And life gonna take these things away from you so you can see the true reality of things. A lot of times, you get it? We get lost into the things of society. And when they get taken from us, we don't see what they was blocking. Like, everything you got materialistic is blocking an aspect of your life. That's your freedom. You get it? like a glorious part of you. It's blocking it. You get my point? Y'all have clothes to cover yourselves. Let's say y'all didn't, so y'all would all be working on y'all bodies and making sure y'all bodies is cleaning up the part. But because y'all have a covering for it, so a lot of people will let their body go. They say, I'll just get a waist snatcher or something to make it look like it need to look. But again, if y'all didn't have clothes to cover, you get my point? I guarantee y'all will be putting work on y'all physical vessel, working out, doing whatever you could, because everybody got to show their nudeness. And so don't ever look at materials as your glory. It take away from your glory. It hide aspects of yourself that need work. More than anything, it hide the insecurities that you need to be working on. And all the materials we reach to get, beneath them is insecurities. These insecurities being our poverty are what leads to it. And so you get my point? We be encouraging each other to like get lost into society and work on what need be worked on. You see how you said, I gotta get another car, not to you, man, just, yeah. That's not important unless you're around judgmental people that's gonna be judging you on that. You going to work, you still handling your business, paying your bills, you saying nice shit to kids. Sounds beautiful to me. I don't see what's the problem. You follow? Think about it. What's the problem? Pride and shallow-minded people. They gonna take you off your course. And so you do what you're doing. You talk to them kids. You never know, that might lead to you doing speaking events for kids. And that, you get it? They give you a whole new life. Just keep your eyes open. You get my point? Become aware. Always know life got the control. It's guiding us like an escalator through certain seasons. And this is all, build us up mentally and emotionally, get us strong. And a lot of times we avoid it. And these is the things that have to do with like your insecurities, like mental and emotional things that we overlook. Things we try to cover up with like gifts and stuff. And give somebody a gift, you trying to cover up the lack of love you showing them and the attention. You follow? And so we got to get a little more aware on things like that. And buy somebody a gift, make sure you giving them love that go with it. So it all makes sense. And keep everything as solid as you can. Ain't nothing going to happen overnight. Ain't nobody going to be perfect overnight. But if you work towards it, you get my point? At some point, you'll be perfect in your ways. And perfect ain't a limit. I don't want you to look at perfect as a limit, and I don't want you to look at the lows as a limit. You can go all the way to the bottoms of the bottoms and keep going. And you can go all the way to the tops of the tops and keep going. It's all on you. The limitations is in the mind. And so a lot of y'all need to be free to that. And view me as negative because you are. You don't want to hear the truth. Like, y'all got to remove the limitations from your mind. You got to identify them. If I tell most of y'all, listen, man, tomorrow y'all going to go get a job. What job you going to go get? Y'all going to say what y'all think y'all can get. Y'all not going to say like the best job that might not even fit you. You a car mechanic. You're not going to say like a greater job than that. You're probably going to say something that's feasible for you to get. You want to remove those limitations. You don't want to view yourself. I don't know. I had to go through all these types of things, years ago. But I was going to give y'all an example, but I don't even remember no more. I've been on the path of wisdom for so long now. I don't remember my shortcomings of old, like where y'all are now. I remember I was there, but I don't remember like the details. You get it? You don't want to hold on to the lows and the negatives, but just become aware of y'all limits. Y'all will notice them if you pay attention. Like when you're going to apply for a job, let's say you're going for the bare minimum job. Ask yourself, why am I applying for this and it's so much more above this? And when it come into your mind, the reason why, rebuke that. Say, nah, hold on. All I need to do is make certain adjustments. And you get to making them adjustments and removing those limitations. You get my point? I don't know. If my kids is listening, or any kids is listening, you do that. You get out of high school, you say, man, they ain't gonna hire me for this executive position. I ain't even got no experience. And get that out your head. This is life. Life is all chaotic and unorganized. You probably more than likely get it. You just got to adjust your mind and you get it. Go in there and speak from the truth of your heart. Let them know I'm young, I just got out, but you get it? I'm ready to tackle the world. I'm excited. I'm ready. They're going to give you a shot at something just because your energy. They say, yeah, he look like he ready to do something. I am. Let that nigga do something, work his way up. But you make sure your energy is good, you know? Make sure people could see that you're ready to receive the world and you're ready to do whatever you need to do for that. And there's a balance there where you ready, you get it? You're going to receive as much as you want to give. So look at it like that. If you say, I want to be wealthy, make sure it's a good reason for it, because it ain't going to manifest if you just want to be wealthy for yourself. You're going to have enough wealth just for yourself. And that's where most people are. They make just enough for what they have in mind to want. Think about it. Some of y'all, you make whatever you make. Do you want more than what you... Do you think to have more than what you make? Or are you kind of lost in your cycle? Like that. The life gonna provide for you what you need. If you need to save millions, there you get it. The life gonna provide you with whatever you need to do that. And say, man, I want to get wise, not just to make myself wise, but I want to spread it out to other people so they grow too. Then I get an abundance of wisdom, more than just what I would need. You follow? Same with y'all. You say, man, you could be homeless right now. You say, I'm homeless all night and I want to get rich so I ain't got to be homeless no more. When you attach other people to that thought, then you're going to start seeing wheels move in regards to your getting whatever you want. Is this clear? Or is it just babble to y'all? Because this light hurting my eyes. I don't want to come on here with sunglasses. Come on here with sunglasses on looking like I just robbed a bank or something. Okay, y'all grasping what I'm saying. And so apply these things. Like I said, it's a process. Y'all be coming to get the wisdom, then y'all be speeding through it. And be getting lost in the people's envies. Maybe somebody hear this and they a teacher too. And they get a little jealous because maybe I got y'all attention. So they start negative talking. Get away from that. No teacher should be talking about no other teacher. They should be teaching y'all whatever they teaching y'all. In regards to y'all growing, you can't do nothing with nobody else. If you young, always remember that. You can't do nothing with no negative talk concerning somebody else. And you make sure you hold people to that. Stop bringing me all that negativity. If it ain't a matter of life and death or a real problem, I don't want to hear it. And you'll see your life change. A lot of times, you get it? We be entangled with the negative. We positive, but here comes old negativity with a negative talk. You get it? And then you get drawn into it. Next thing you know, you're back wherever you started. And so keep everything positive. And you got to keep, it's a repetition thing. Maybe you snippet this part of the video out and replay it every morning before you start your day so you remember, let me get my vibrations together. Let me get my mind on a positive accord and my emotional state on a positive accord. A lot of y'all fail because you already have it in your mind it's not going to work. But you like, I got to do something, so I'm going to just try. But you're not trying with the heart in it. Where you like, it's going to work. It's just a matter of when. I have to find the right way to fit it to make it work, but it's going to work. You follow? That's anything you're trying to do in life. There should never be no doubt if it's going to work. It should just be a matter of time in your mind. Like, okay, when am I going to find a fit? Look at it like a shape that got to fit into another shape. You got to find, you get it? You gotta find a place in, but in regards to y'all talents and whatever y'all want to do, it can happen. You just gotta find that fit. You gotta get everything together. You gotta smooth out the rough edges. But don't never get it in the mind where you like it can't happen. Or have people around you telling you what you can't do and what you can do. You could do whatever you want. That's why I be telling y'all, get out them groups. They put y'all all on the same train of thought. And you your own person. You got your own things you need to do. If the group can't respect that everybody their own person bringing their own, you get it, glories and things to the table, then y'all become like toy soldiers, the same old story. And so you get my point. You don't want to lock yourself down in this life. You want to make sure you can always spread your wings and do you. A lot of y'all lost into these groups and they got you caged in and y'all bitter and angry, running around bickering out the stupidities of the group. Your problems not being the group problems, but you take on the group problems as your own. And this is happening with a lot of our young. They being put on a path where they seeking out problems so they have something to fight. It's not about fighting, and it's damn sure ain't about having problems. It's about being thankful when you ain't got none so you can get some things done. And when problems do come, you get my point, they to be resolved. Not so much fought, but resolved. We have it in our mind, if a problem comes, we need to fight it. That's how you cancel yourself out in the next person, especially in this world where you can go to jail. All quarrels got to do with conversation because all quarrels start from miscommunication or no communication. And that, communication is the way to resolve it. And we get our young on that kind of mindset. Yo, shorty, when you have a problem with blood up the block, you go talk to him. Y'all come from the same kind of bump. He should be able to level with you. Remove the bass out your voice and just level with him. And we have ours on a dumb path. You get it? My kids come get me. They got a problem. I try to go talk it out to see, to be the resolve, the adult in the situation. If I see it's no resolve, you get my point? I tell my kids to go, this is the part you don't need to see. My kids ain't never seen me do nothing. They ain't never seen me do nothing wild before. I keep that away from them. Period. If they hear something, then they just hear something. But they ain't never going to see it from me unless you get it. I ain't got no means to get them away from me in that moment. Other than that, you adult, you carry it like that. You're going to be a role model, whether you like it or not. Depending on how far down the young like you. Some of y'all old, but you got little kids that like you. So you got more responsibility. It's a blessing that in your old age, little kids still gravitate towards you. But so comes responsibility with that gift. You get it? A gift and a curse, they go hand in hand. Let's say you 19, 20 years old. You ain't at a place in your life where you want to be a role model, but let's say you got a bunch of little kids that look up to you. Like that. It's a blessing that them little kids look up to you and like you, because they gonna be grown and doing something at some point, and they probably gonna come back for you to look out for you. But you got to be the proper role model. You lead them somewhere where they can't do nothing for you. And this is what we be doing. We be leading our young on a road of destruction to where they can't do nothing for us, but call us for commissary. It's not about that. We keep rewarding these low life things, letting the society control how we do our own. Y'all letting online raise our young. We trying to be our young friend instead of be what we supposed to. And take that damn phone from them. If they mad and don't like you, oh well. They respect it when they get older. And you get it? Put them on the right path in the cord. Because while ours is playing online, they not playing with each other. And this is where we become strangers to one another. They're playing online all day, not playing with each other. The kids to be in the park learning how to get along with each other. By the time they get 18, 19, they ain't got no experiences with nobody outside their household, and that it be clashes. It be shootouts because they don't even know the person up the block. When I was growing up, we knew all our enemies. We went to school with them. We dealt with them at one point in time, in that it make you say, hold on, I do know this Goofy. They don't have that. They don't know that Goofy. They just know him from online. They never seen him a day in their life. And he live around the corner. They don't go outside. I mean, like that. You got to start building the relationships. If the kids is all outside, they all know each other somewhat. And knowing each other will stop a lot of things. It's when you don't know somebody, you're willing to do any and everything. But if you know them, like I said, that's a limitation right there. Look at it as a moral. And so, take heed to these things, I say. I apologize. I'm drinking too much. Y'all can deal with AW for me. I'm going to use the restroom. If y'all want to give back, you can. If you don't got it too, don't worry about it. Just make sure that no shoes is in the car. Oh, I know who you are. Peace and wisdom. I'm glad y'all didn't flame up AW. That's my man. Aaron something. I remember you. Peace and wisdom, champ. And so if you young, the best thing I could tell you, I'm going to get into this death part. Give y'all a quick little jewel on that. I don't want y'all to get lost in the death so much. I got a life to live, you know? And at daytimes, they're trying to get y'all focused on death so much. And I'm the start of that. I already know that because I know that's in some of y'all mind. You the one that started all that death talk. And you the one started all them NDE stories. You know, where they be telling you they died and then they see nothing but darkness. Yeah, that come from me. But that was a real thing that happened to me. I ain't know it was going to become... You get it? You know how online is. They make content out of anything and then run it into the dirt. But I was explaining those things to y'all so y'all can have insight on how y'all need to carry it while y'all alive. Not so much so y'all get lost on the death. So y'all have clarity and know how to carry it in the life. Fully understanding that death is a real thing. Because when you don't know, you say, I don't really know what happened to us when we die, then it don't really matter to you. How you carry it while you living. But your life, your life gonna make for your death. However good you make your life, gonna precipitate into your death. And when I say make your life good, I ain't talking about materials. We get lost into accumulating materials. It's about people. You're not living out the house you live in, and you're not living out your car, your gold chain, your rings, your dope shoes, your dope clothes. That's not your life. You're not living that. You're living out your conversations and your dealings with people. That's your life. The conversations you have and the people you have it with. The things you doing and the people you doing it with. And that's all of your life right there. And that, you want to go out and try to accumulate a bunch of that. Good people, so you have good conversations. The more people you know, the more things you have to do on a day to day, or the more options of things you can do on a day to day. And that help you with your idle time. Meaning you don't want to have too much idle time. You start talking to yourself, you start doing things you ain't got no business doing, and you get my point? Keep yourself. Idle time ain't your friend unless you put in a lot of work. Then it is. But if you ain't doing a lot with your time, you don't want to have idle time. Peace and wisdom, the mind. There you go. The horizon is the balance. And so if you're young, focus on people, having good relationships, and you get my point. Don't focus so much on the materials. Say, damn, Solace, I'm homeless. I need somewhere to live. If you knew a bunch of good people and you was good with them, you wouldn't even have that problem. You'd have many couches, many spare rooms you can go to. You follow? You're not going to have no lack and no need for nothing if you got good people that you associated with. And so you always keep that in mind, especially those of y'all that's getting lost into the streets. The people in the streets don't live by the proper morals. In that, do you get it? I'm not going to say you can't meet good people in the streets, but you want to meet people in environments that are good. Because the environments will make the people. And you're going to have the good and the bad in all pot piles, but you want to make sure mostly good. You know, one bad apple will spoil you the bunch. Look at it like that. You're going to have one bad apple and a bunch of good apples, and you're going to have one good apple and a bunch of bad ones. And so you want to gravitate yourself to where you get it. The good is winning. So just keep those things in mind and apply the wisdom on the daily, meaning you gotta always reflect on self and stay aware of self. And you get my point? Whatever you around, whatever you listening to, it's gonna become you. A lot of y'all running around here bitter and you angry, and you don't understand how that was instilled in you. You listening to this thing or you listening to that thing, and it ain't got nothing to do with you when you growing. It got to do with you jumping on somebody else's agenda because they mad at this thing or that thing, or this person or that person. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Again, y'all get into these groups, then y'all become their mouthpiece and their handpiece to fight off whatever problems they got that got nothing to do with you. When you need a little assistance on whatever problem you got, the group can't help you for some reason. Like that. You don't want to attach yourself to nothing like that. You're going to be in a group where everything is more, more hands-on and everybody aware of everybody and everybody tending to everybody. You don't want to get lost in no society group where it's about you just serving the society or the group's agenda. And your small little problems that can get fixed instantly get overlooked decade after decade. You follow? And so you got to get off that all that clown stuff. Proper life work. Peace and wisdom to mind. And I'm going to hold you to them words. Now, when you're dealing with death, see how y'all fall asleep? Sometimes y'all have a dream, sometimes y'all won't. That's life and death right there. Meaning we get lost in the physical, and when the physical body perish, y'all view that as death. That's not death. Your physical body ain't the source of your life, so it ain't the source of your death. Your mind or your soul is the living parts of you. You know that thinking thing. When you sit and you thinking, that's what control what you see. That's what's speaking, not your vessel. Right now you see me speaking, my mind is speaking, not my body, my lips. You follow? You looking at me. Your eyeballs ain't looking at me. Your mind is looking at me through the eyes. That's who you are, that thing. And if you pay attention to that thing, you'll notice it goes on and off like a light. Meaning you go unconscious, then you go awake. You like a blinking light. And awake has its place, and of course, unconsciousness or sleep has its place. We call those places dream, meaning dream is the places in unconsciousness, just like you have your places in awake. And this is all you as a mind or a soul, meaning as a soul, you darkness and light, or unconsciousness and awake. And who's controlling the switch? This ain't important right now. What's important, you become aware that, you get it? You're like a light switch that get cut off and on. And you being alive have to do with that. Not so much your body being alive in the physical life. Like I said, when y'all go to sleep, y'all go in the dream. That's a whole world. Y'all live and do things there. That's not a fake place. Everybody go there. You follow? It's only fake to you right now because you got the physical. Once the physical is gone and all you got is unconsciousness and the dream places in it, do you follow? It's like real life. The dream only fake to y'all when y'all come into awake. But if y'all never came into awake, that dream would be what it is. You follow? That's the afterlife. When y'all go in the dream and y'all go to place, meaning when y'all go into unconsciousness and y'all actually have a dream, it's just like giving you a sneak peek of the afterlife, or the place that the afterlife takes place in. And that most of y'all say, I don't believe in death and all of this not gonna happen. It's real. You just don't understand life. You ever had a nightmare and it was so scary? Imagine you couldn't wake up from that nightmare and that nightmare was all there was. The nightmare only faked to you because you wake up from it. But let's say you didn't wake up from it. Then would the nightmare be fake? Or would that be your reality? This is why when you read in text like the Bible, when it say, man, in hell, it might say like, if you're reading something about hell, it may say like they have maggots eating them in hell. And they eat them all the way up and then their body regenerate back so it can happen again. It's like dream. You're not all the way physical in dream. Whatever happened to you in dream could repeatedly happen to you because you're not technically going to die like you do in the physical. You get it? It's the astral plane or the spiritual plane. And that you can go through the same thing over and over. You get shot in your head once or twice in the physical before you go on your way. You get shot in your head every goddamn second in the dream. And the experience getting shot in the head and dying and then it happening again. Like that. They're explaining to y'all, when y'all get a sneak peek of dream, this is the real afterlife. And it's just going to be that. And your afterlife going to be dependent on the thoughts and the emotional states you got. Same as y'all dreams. And so you get my point? After we die, so we go into our afterlife, or the unconsciousness. And of course, dream is there, but dream will be afterlife then. And you will wake up in your afterlife and go unconscious like you do in the physical. Meaning y'all will have y'all dream, go to sleep, wake up in y'all dream or another one. And that will carry on, you know, until y'all become aware that y'all dead. Same as in the physical. Y'all die because y'all haven't become aware that y'all dead. To stop it. You can't find life in death, only in life. Y'all got y'all chance now while y'all alive to learn life and find it. What I'm speaking about have to do with yourself. I ain't speaking about you seeking in the world life. The life is within you. You have to find it. You're not going to find it in death because you're going to be off, if that makes sense. You're not going to find life in sleep or in dream because that ain't the life side. You got to find life in life and make that life eternal for you. You follow? Other than that, most people get lost on death. They think things going to be revealed to them in death. But death is like the end of the movie. Once the credits go up, you got to watch the movie again. And so you get my point until you catch it. Mind and soul, the living part. Salam, Miss W. Black. Proper life work. The mind said proper life work. I'm not blowing you off, Miss W. Black. What you said was good. I'm going to get to it in a second. Mind said proper life work. Solace, I keep saying this, but I owe you a lot. Y'all owe me y'all selves. Y'all owe me y'all assistance. Y'all owe me to raise my spirits when it's down. You follow? Assist me in things I may need done. Y'all owe me those things, y'all self. Same way I give y'all myself. And so, you owe me that. If you talking like money or something, get my point? That's just for what, like I said before, people give people gifts when they not giving them the proper love. You get my point? And give somebody a gift, you make sure the love is accompanied with it. And so you get my point? Y'all owe me those things, like y'all selves having more worth than whatever materials y'all could think of, but the self got to be right. Other than that, you get my point? The self be a whole burden and something else. Now, Miss W. Black said, mind and soul, the living parts. That part. The mind or the soul, they're one and the same. Meaning the soul is just a description or a word for the body of the mind, which is unseen, just like the mind. And the mind is just the thinking parts of that soul, but they both the same thing, an unseen thing. And so the mind and the soul have death and life with it. You know, unconsciousness and awake. I have to find the life. When I say find the life, I don't mean so much like find the awake. I mean like transcend the darkness in self. Let's say your unconsciousness is attached to all your negativity that you hold with self. You transcend that negativity, you transcend that darkness. Y'all don't have to sleep, y'all go to sleep because y'all wear yourselves out in the day. In the death. You get it? In the worry. Y'all not like children where they play all damn day and you gotta fight them to go to sleep, otherwise they won't. They will just play all day and stay awake. Their eyes be closing, they still trying to stay awake. You get it? They come from heaven, they come from the life. They just got here, they know nothing about sleep. And that's why babies cry when it's time to go to sleep. Because they understand life and death. They like, I'm not going back there. I'm not going back to death. I don't come from there. I was just there in the womb. And so you get my point? You have to get back like a baby. The mind have to humble out. If I told most of y'all, who would know the place that our life comes from? Y'all will overlook little newborn babies. Y'all will be like, I know. Or somebody else wise know that soul. They don't look to the young that just came from wherever we come from. You get it? They just came into the physical from wherever all things that come into the physical life come from. Of course, there's a language barrier, but you get my point? They know the answer. The mind have to get, you get my point? The mind have to become aware. Meaning all the answers is within y'all. Y'all just have to become aware of self. And where self is at in the life. And make the proper adjustments and you get it, the light bulb start to come on. Look at it like that. You got to screw the light bulb in for it to come on. A lot of y'all ain't screw your light bulb in yet. You just running through the darkness. And you like, I'm going to find my way that way. And just be still and cut on your light. You follow? And from there, do your works. But the living and the dead parts is with us. Death not being something that has to be, but is something that is, because you get it? Man don't transcend his darkness. He believe in the lows. He believe in the death. He believe in it so much, he believe in somebody saving him from it. He don't see himself as I'm already one with the life. Ain't nothing to save me from death because I got nothing to do with it. You get it? I'll say Jesus my Lord and Savior. He not my Lord and Savior because he can't save me from what I am. He can't save me from death. I don't got nothing to do with that. You get my point? Those of y'all that's evil and guilty. You say that because you know that's your reality. I don't do right, so when I die, something got to save me. But if you did right, you will be like, I don't see what I need to be saved from. Save me from what? I ain't do nothing. That part, your mind have to get there where you could stand on that and be like, hold on, I didn't do anything. Whatever I did wrong, it was in my ignorance of being born into this world, not knowing. But once I knew, I made all my adjustments and I righted all my wrongs. And I kept it on that accord. And that, if somebody telling you you're going to die and somebody got to save you, you're going to feel like, why? From what? That part. If I told you I got to save you from your sleep, you're going to say, no, you don't, because I'm going to wake up on my own. You got to get like that. Where you know life is yours for the taking and can't nobody, you get it? Can't nobody block you from it. You can't save me from it. You can't save me from death, and you can't block me from life. Again, you can't save me from death because I don't got nothing to do with that. And you can't block me from life because that's what I am. And that I'm going to wake up. I'm the life. Y'all have to understand that in y'all dying. And that, you get my point, the lights stay on. Most people get lost in their lows. They get lost in their darkness. You get my point? They get tired. And they want, you know, they don't want to live. And so when you in a physical life and you feeling like that, like I don't want to live, that's a reflection of the overall reality. Meaning we all go unconscious and conscious. As some of us going to be life and some of us going to be death in that way. Meaning some of y'all going to retain y'all awareness and some of y'all going to go out. And we all like lights, but they all not going to stay lit. Some going to go out, some going to stay on. It all depends on the light or the soul. You get my point? And that, some of y'all got, I want to commit suicide feelings. You got to want to be to be. You follow? And being is good enough. It wouldn't matter if that being is hard. That being is hard because the perspective is hardened. You get it? The perspective is obligated. I'm supposed to have this. I'm supposed to be that. You get it? They make it hard just being. But ain't nothing above being. You get my point? Even the bum sitting on the corner trying to get change for the day. He here with us. He don't have everything we have. Maybe he probably did at one point in time. But you get my point? He here for all the rest of the stuff we get. He get the hate you get. He get the love you probably get. Sometimes somebody drop a coin in his bucket and tell him a good word. He get everything we get out the life. You get it? The bum on the corner all the way up to the highest person you could think of. Still in the same place. I still got to go through the same trials and tribulations to grow. You get it? And the pressure got to be put on the mind and the emotional state so it blossomed beyond those problems. Look at it like that. Y'all have little problems or big ones so that y'all grow mentally and emotionally beyond them. And those problems never be problems again. You get my point? It's like a tetanus shot. You get a little bit of sickness so that your body fight it off, and then you don't have to worry about that sickness more. You go through a little struggles here and there. You go through a little hardship here and there all throughout your life, hoping you adjust to it. Kind of like y'all did as children. Y'all fall, scrape y'all knee, then y'all forget at some time about that. The girl that broke your heart when you was a little kid, maybe you probably forgot about her by now if you older. Some of y'all still stuck in the past, but you get my point? It's like I said, the overcoming, the hardships. Everything is about overcoming. It's not about resistance or conflict or clashing. It's about overcoming. It's about becoming fulfilled and overcoming. Not clashing or going low, but raising up. And so keep these things in the mind. Ballroom said, I keep hearing people say we are just the observer, but awareness is also part of the mind, just like a thought or imagining. So I don't think they are right about us being only the observer. A lot of people come to my channel and they take little things here and there, and then they add stupidities onto it. You get my point? Got a video where I told y'all to, close your eyes and focus on that pulsating force in your core that y'all call breathing. And I was explaining to y'all how the Atman is. The Atman is the witness or the observing self. And so do you get my point? What you're saying right now that people say sound like somebody was listening to what I said, but they overlooked that I didn't finish the lesson. I'm talking about the Hindu scholarship. I didn't go all the way through the whole scholarship. I was just giving y'all a piece to explain a piece. They add on a whole bunch of dumb stuff. Y'all hear secondhand stuff, and you get my point. Y'all be confused. But all aspects of self is one, and they have to become that. And so that's the best thing I could say. The unconsciousness and the consciousness have to become one thing. Y'all inhale and exhale have to become one thing. Y'all left and right eye or y'all two different perspectives have to become one perspective. You follow? There's no separation. There's just the resistance of self. Your breathing is a reflection of that resistance. Everything have to be, all opposing sides have to be, you get it? The bickering have to stop. The unconscious and the conscious have to stop their little battle where you sleep and then you wake. Like that. We the balance in between every duality in life. Mainly the ones pertaining to ourselves. And so you get my point? Look at the duality like two kids fighting, and at some point y'all have to become mature enough to get them on the same accord to serve the one glory. And so you're here to observe the glory, which is a thing inside self. You get my point? But none of that matter if you ain't a Hindu or you ain't looking to learn the Hindu scholarship pertaining to all of that. That's the Atman, the Antakarana, and all those things. If you're not trying to learn to be well versed on that, it's not to, you get my point? I pay any of that any mind. Because a lot of people are taking Hindu scholarships and different scholarships, but because they don't read, you get it? They're teaching it like it's their own awareness. And now they get all scrambled. They could have told you that come from Hinduism and then gave you the full breakdown. But at the ends of all teachings, it have to do with everything coming back and being yoked back, being yoked back to one glory. So when you're dealing with ancient Hinduism and they explaining the Antakarana, the Antakarana is basically the four parts of the mind. The Ahamkara is one of the four parts of the Antakarana, or the mind. The Ahamkara is the ego, or the I maker. And you got four different parts of the mind, but all of these parts of the mind are different aspects of the inner instrument, are the antakarana. The antakarana is the inner instrument, but it's speaking of your mind. They call your mind an instrument because the words that come out your mouth come from your mind, and that your mind is an instrument. It's a thinking thing that makes sound or speak. Like I said, y'all lips and y'all body ain't speaking, y'all mind is. In that, the mind is an instrument. And so you get it? The antakarana is referred to as the internal instrument, or the inner instrument, or the inner organ. And so those four parts, like I said, everything have to come back to be like one. And removing all things that's not needed. Some things is limits to keep this self from going beyond where it need to go. And you get my point? You're going to have limits put you in this life for your own good. And then you got to know when to remove those limits. And so life is an awareness thing. You just have to observe. Observe self. And you get it? Process things. Now I'm about to depart. I'm getting a little tired. You're not just the observer, though. You're like a child in life, so you observe, so you learn. You follow? Nature, life show you how the tide come in and then the tide go out. And so you have to apply that to self. Y'all emotional state go up, then they go down. Y'all go to sleep, y'all wake up. This is our reflections of the coming and going tide. You have to start to, you get it? Observe the things in life so you could see the natural processes of life, and then you could take control over those processes for self. Become aware, okay, my thoughts are manifesting my reality on its own. But I don't be controlling my thoughts. So maybe if I control my thoughts, I can control my reality like that. Becoming aware of the natural processes of life so that you can see what to do. Like take control for yourself. It's like life doing it for you, but you just get whatever you get. But life just showing you how it works. From there, you take control and you work it. You get it? And that y'all come into life, y'all think however y'all think. This person make y'all think that way, y'all environment, whatever. And it manifests the reality y'all have. At some point, you're supposed to be aware of that. Okay, I've been in a few different environments. I see how they shaped and changed my reality. And they changed the way I think, too. Once you become aware, okay, my thoughts create my reality, and life is naturally doing that. Taking my thoughts and making it a reality. Answering my thoughts, however negative or positive they are, and making the reality to match the thought. And that, you say, okay, if I want to control my reality and stop letting life do it, then I just control my thoughts. Otherwise, life gonna make what it make out of my thoughts. I can't control that part. But I can control how I think and how I see things. And of course, how you think and how you see, action gonna follow that. And that, you get it? Action's what's manifesting the reality, but the thought is the source of the action. And that, you get my point? You have to become aware of the thoughts that's not right, so you can become aware of the actions that follow these thoughts. Because that's what's in your way, not so much the thoughts, but the action to follow the thoughts. Y'all have negative thoughts that manifest realities y'all don't like. You have to become aware of the thought so you can become aware of the action that follow it. To change the action. Everybody's on routines and they have habits. So you have to change these habits and routines because they're the fabric of what keep the life or the reality how it is. You say, I don't like my life. Well, you got habits and routines that you do every day. If you know those, then you could change your life whenever you want. Just start changing the routine. And every day you wake up and do this, wake up and do something different. And hold that vibration till the reality change over to it. You follow? But it's all a thought. You got to know the thoughts That's causing the action. And that you can change the action. Both go hand in hand. You change the action of the thought. You get it? You change the thought, the action change. You change the actions, the thoughts change. You hang in this environment, the thoughts how they is. You go to this other environment, they ain't moving on that accord, then the thoughts change. Use Golden and the other person that came in here that was mouthing off on a negative accord. And you see how it wasn't received so good in this environment, so they just shut up. They just changed the way they think right in that moment. They probably still here listening, but you get it? Like that. Whatever environment y'all in, the mind going it's going to kind of blend in or try to blend in with whatever the reality is. Man like to be accepted. And that he try to fit in with whatever he think the reality want from you. And so you become aware of these things. You start to control your reality. You start to control how you think, how you see things. And that, you get it? Y'all manifesting how the life y'all want for the most part. Or the life you want for the time being. And then when you don't want that no more, you have to change, you know? And the habits and routines. And so in regards to death have to do with, you know, far beyond y'all living. Meaning when y'all die, death have to do with then. Meaning when the physical body die, you ain't dead yet. Your body died, not your soul. And when it's speaking about eternal life and eternal death, it's speaking of the soul. The soul gonna be eternally unconscious where it don't even know it exists. Like how y'all are when y'all sleeping. And you don't even remember yourself till you wake up. Like that. It's talking about eternal death like that, where you just become one with that unconsciousness or that darkness, ceasing to exist anymore to the self, and that you can't wake up. Like that. And others will have a wake or life. And you get my point? It's all dependent on the soul and what the soul is, meaning the mind. So stop focusing on death so much is the main point. Focus on life and living. Life and living got to do with the raising up. You tearing somebody down, you serving to death. You get my point? Keeping somebody dumb and ignorant, you serving to death, the darkness. You want to be a light to people, you want to lift people up if you can. If it ain't going to be a matter of you falling down with them. And you get my point? You want to serve the up. You want to make sure you up. You're going to be whatever you serve. And so you get my point? Life going down and life going up. You want to get on the upside. And you get up. And you get it. Just make sure you don't let life pass you by. Take time out for the small things and, you know, be aware. Y'all have good little small moments. Some of y'all mad at your life and you had a few good moments today you ain't even noticed. You're too focused on whatever you want to be focused on. That don't matter. Be aware of y'all days. You get it? Every day it's a new day and ain't nothing after that or before that. It's a whole new start. What are you going to do with it? You wake up tomorrow. You can either do what you did today, or you get my point, you could do something different. And every day give you a new day to start a new path. Or you could just do the same thing with the day that you did yesterday. And that you keep having yesterdays. And that's a Jew for those of y'all that feel like you stuck or you don't like the cycle you in. Every day you get a new beginning. Use it. And so, clear the mind out before you go to sleep. It's like I said before. The day you have is dependent on the night before when you fall asleep. You're going to wake up on whatever vibration you went to sleep on. So you want to make sure you clear away everything. Look at nighttime and going to sleep as death. But technically it is. You don't know you're going to wake up or not. And so you get it? Righting all y'all wrongs for the day if you can. And you get my point? And say your good nights and go to sleep on a good accord. That way when you wake up in the morning, you get my point? You don't wake up carrying over the bitterness from the day before. It's like planting that bitterness in your soil. Your unconscious mind is the soils. This is what the consciousness sprang forth from, the unconsciousness. And so whatever's in the conscious mind, when it's getting set or put into the unconscious, that's what's going to spring out or blossom out. And that you don't want to go to sleep with negativities in the mind. You planting it into the unconsciousness, and that's what's going to blossom out every morning. The unconsciousness is receiving from the consciousness and manifesting that for it. You, the consciousness, you think you want things how you want them to be, whatever the case. And when you get set in to sleep every night, you get it? That's the soil. And the thoughts are planted in there. You are a thought yourself, a mind. It's planted in the unconscious and it blossoms out in the morning. And that you want to control your night. This goes deeper than what I'm saying, but you get my point? I have to come along as y'all do, but before we go to sleep, we supposed to all, like, you know, do a quick little reflection, a quick little meditation. Not meditation how y'all know it, but, you know, things I haven't shown y'all yet, but just sit with yourself for a time, get the mind right, and go to sleep on the right accord. Understanding that's the all use, and you get it? Everything is simple, but if you don't know, then it'd be hard. But everything's simple. I don't want y'all to think this is like a lifelong thing. It's a simple thing. It's just a matter of you doing it. And that's anything in life. You'll come to realize everything in life is really simple. It's just getting to it. You're listening to all the dumb shit in the meanwhile while you're not getting to it. But everything's simple. Meaning y'all could change your reality tomorrow. It's just when you decide to start. And it's going to be a little uncomfortable when you're doing different things that you're not used to. You step out your routine, it's going to get a little strange. You're going to feel a little uncomfortable, but you get it? You get used to that just like you got used to whatever routine you in now. Remove your fears of failing. Most of y'all don't move and do what you need to do. When I say move, I mean get up and going. You're scared you're going to fail, and ain't no such thing as failing. It's just doing what you do. Some seeds gonna grow, some ain't. Meaning you doing what you doing is just planting seeds, and some things gonna blossom, some ain't. But this don't got nothing to do with failing or succeeding. It just got to do with you planting and harvesting. You know, living. In that, you get ideas, you do them. They work, they work. If they don't, they don't. You got a lot of good ideas, you planting a lot of seeds, you get my point? Things will grow. Sometimes you got to make adjustments to things. That's why they ain't growing. Whatever the case may be, you get my point? If it's coming from a pure parts of yourself, you know, the good parts of yourself. You get my point? Nothing can stop you. Only you. And it's like that regardless. Nothing can stop you except you, your own mind. And so just keep all that, you know, keep that with you and apply it. Now I'm tired. Hopefully you guys grasp, receive that in well. Like I said, make sure y'all be my support, you know, emotionally and morally and mentally and all that. The give backs is good. They keep me going. But more than that, you get it? The foundation of the give back should be good energies, you know, love, respect, honor, things like that. That way y'all won't get on my nerves so much. Peace and wisdom. Melanie creates. I like that name, the last part of it. Creates. You keep that in your mind. Meaning if you a woman, or a man, I don't want to say a woman. You a man or a woman, that's what y'all are, creators. This ain't got nothing to do with y'all creating and bringing forth life, but we talking about just period. Only thing block y'all from creating is entertainment. If I removed everything that entertained y'all and y'all had to just sit with y'all selves and y'all loved ones, y'all would start doing things. Well, shit, we just sitting here looking at the wall. How about we do this? You get it? That's why they got so much entertainment in this world. It keep y'all from doing great and wonderful things. They want y'all to just go to work and serve the city. Don't worry about building up and doing nothing outside of that. Like that. And next, y'all go to work, serve y'all cities however y'all do. Y'all get off work and y'all tap into the entertainment and you get it. It interfere with y'all doing things y'all would do with y'all idle time. Y'all have an escape from y'all idle time. It's called entertainment, watching others. And that is stop you from doing. And so you always keep that in mind. I could be sitting here entertaining myself or I could be doing something. You start with the small things, get used to finishing the things you start, and you get it. Grow from there. If you're young, always finish what you start. Always keep that in your mind to finish whatever I start. That way when you start creating things, you just don't abandon it. You're not going to get nowhere building and abandoning. You build something, you make sure you finish it. It's going to give you character and more than that. In the subconscious mind, you get it? You're going to always fulfill whatever you need to. Or you can abandon things that become the norm to you and it'd be easy for you to walk away from things and not finish nothing. And so you get my point? You want to finish out whatever you need to finish out. That's what you call a clean slate. And you want to always move in that clean slate, fulfilling your things. You welcome me. Salam, shalom. Peace and wisdom, Josiah Montilla. I love y'all back. That's not no bullshit. That's why I become give y'all this wisdom, but y'all get on my nerves. Just like all loved ones. But y'all make everything the reality for me. You get my point? And sometimes I do get lost in my ego. I forget like this is a blessing for me. And could be at work right now wasting all this wisdom away. Doing traditional 9 to 5. I already did all of that. You get my point? And so this is truly a blessing for me, but I be fucking it up, getting lost in my own perspective. You know how that go. That's just life. But I'm wise, so I always keep everything, in mind. And so I don't want y'all to overlook that, It's a hand-in-hand thing. Y'all make me, and I make y'all wise, and at the same time, y'all make me. You get my point? A lot of y'all been giving back, that keep me going. And so you get my point? I don't want y'all to look at yourselves as useless. There's a lot of useless people that do come in here, but you get my point? They not even important. What's important is those of y'all that keep everything going. And y'all the wheel that's going to make everything else start wheeling, and you get my point? The main thing is I got to just get my ego together. Stay focused on the overall point, which is y'all getting this wisdom. And you get it? Stay thankful. That's it. And so y'all do the same things I need to do. Keep the ego in check. Stay aware. And do your works. And so I'll probably take a few days to try to get, like I said, I got to apply the wisdom to myself too. And, teaching y'all, it come in interference with that sometimes. But I still have habits and things I have to break. And, things I have to apply on my own self too. While teaching y'all. So you get it? We got to all keep everything on the positive so we can all grow, Meaning you need to have your mind clear so you can do what you need to do. Same with me. Be challenging each other and going back and forth. It's only going to make for the ego on both sides. You follow? And that ain't even got to do with us. That got to do with y'all relationships and anything in life. If the both sides keep getting lost and kind of go head to head, it's going to make for the egos. It's going to make for the envies. The ego and the envy go hand in hand. You can't have ego and not have no envies, and you can't have envies and not have an ego. It's a two-sided coin. And so you get my point? It's not about us clashing. It's not about y'all clashing with anything. It's about, you get it? Getting the ego in check, staying focused on the overall point, which is all of us growing. Because we all got to live amongst one another. If I got to be on the lookout for your low ass, you follow? If I'm a low life now, you got to be looking out for me. Meaning you got to be looking over your shoulder to make sure my low life ass ain't doing nothing to you. But if we make sure everybody on the proper, you get it? Everybody feeling good inside and everybody feeling like they got treated fair and everything balanced, then we can all work and get things done. I got to look at life as our home. Yeah, people took over our home, but it's still our home to make the heaven and the paradise we want to live in. We can all come together and plant and grow and make this place a heaven. Or we could compete against each other, and you get my point? Some will be starving one moment and others will be starving the next moment. Or we could all live in the glory until we die. It all got to do with us all coming together. Not the whole world, but just the environments. When this environment, y'all gotta all come together, start working together. And work on that environment, making it what it need to be so y'all can be that emotionally and mentally. You follow? You come together, some of y'all plant and grow beautiful trees, shit like that around, and you get it? Make the place a paradise. Life gave us this place. All we got to do is keep up with it. And so you get my point? We live a reflection of our works or our lack of doing work. And so life is a heaven. We make it a hell in our ignorance. And so you get my point? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. Remember when I gave y'all the last video I did about the land and all that? And how y'all can come together and get yourselves some and free yourselves? I made it free so y'all can go there for free. Now go there, mix and mingle with each other, do what I said, come together, get yourselves, free from the system and all the bullshit. And those of y'all that want to give back, you can do that on your own accord. Now I'm about to depart. Be well. Work on self. I'm about to do the same. Salam.